wasting our time, letting life slip by. It's quite a common theme for so many of us who are in the middle of their 20s. Dealing with that sort of misery often directly stems from the visible success of literally everyone else. Misusing our time and resources in response to a complete overwhelm of that we're not sure what to do with our lives. I'm super young, I'm just trying things out, I don't have any responsibility, so I just try out many different things. If those things don't seem to work out, I'll just switch my focus and we'll see. And recently I feel like I've entered a state that feels a little more realistic, grounded and centered. This first stage of me being open and loose is strongly related to also me feeling lost and wasteful and aimless. I have 3 things to share today. I learned them through prioritizing to be better and figuring out how I can interact most constructively with my world. Those should help you to get out of your misery as well, or at least start a movement towards that. If we prioritize to be better, there will be a way. So let's dive in. How does your life look like in 5 to 10 years if you just kept going like you currently are? Some of us do have a dream and they're able to just fully go for it, full blast, and they achieve it, and it's a wonderful example. And some others do also have a dream, but it will forever stay one. They're stuck in procrastination and chaos. And chances are, if you're watching this video, that you're one of the latter. This year I realized something. It's very likely that I won't ever achieve my dream. It's far more likely that somebody else out there is already building theirs. And it's far easier for me to just say yes and join them on their adventure instead of me going out into the trenches myself. It's so incredibly hard to build something from scratch. It takes so much time and work and energy. And when there is already something existing out there that we can just easily get assigned to, most of us will. I'm on another project that fills up my time, that I really enjoy, and that I also get paid for. So even though I enjoy it very, very much, why does this itch that I feel like I'm running after something still persist? It's the first time this year that I noticed how you could potentially get really stuck. For some reason, this really scares me. How much do you really want the thing that you're dreaming for? What does it take to sort out your priorities right now? Think about those questions and write down your answers. So there was this dream that I had defined for myself. It was something along the lines of making videos, helping people and creating new perspectives. It's not clear at all, but this idea, whatever it was, hovered in front of myself and I somehow never was able to get my foot on the gas and move towards it. I would try out different things to get there, then experiencing something that I would at that point consider as failure, and then excuse myself and switch my focus, telling myself I'd still be young and that this was okay. Basically, I was building a sort of illusion in front of me. I desperately wanted it, but there was never a way to get there. There was no destination. Unless we're able to bring our airy, chaotic ideas to the ground, they're never gonna happen. In some form, we gotta build a strategy and create actionable steps for us to interact with it, make it fit to our personality, and give ourselves the best odds to really know what we need to do in order to actually move towards it. Because now that I'm aware of it, I see so many people, young and old, that are still stuck in this bubble. Get your dream out of this illusion bubble and bring it down to the ground. And I have 2 approaches that you can try in order to do so. 1, talk about your dream with others that you know well, like your family, your friends. Find out how they see it, how they see your dream connected with you as a person. Get an outside perspective. Be aware of your own emotional behavior when you do that, because chances are that you've kept your dream inside this bubble for a reason. When suddenly you get an unbiased external viewpoint onto your careful idea, it can be really painful. This part is necessary though, because sooner or later, if you really want to get it out, it will need to be out and people will need to react to it anyways. So work through those triggers, and if you need help with that, make sure to check out my resilience guide. 2, talk about your dream with people who know about it. Try to see how others maybe have been doing something similar and see what you can take and learn from them. Get inspired by people who are a couple steps ahead of you. Get inspired by the things that you can see yourself applying in a similar way. Through that whole process, your dream is going to shift and it's going to transform. Again, it might be painful to get it out there to the ground and really be confronted by the real challenges that your vision actually brings, but all of it is necessary. The thing with creativity is that you can make everything from anything. That's the whole idea of it. Creativity is pure chaos, and from that space you have an abundance of different options and decisions to close in on a particular style, idea, or approach. I mean, yeah, it requires lots of initiative and drive and discipline in order to keep searching for your best idea and keep searching, keep digging in that chaotic space. But also it takes a lot to limit yourself, to narrow in your abundance of options and focus in on one particular thing, to transform open chaos into structure and order. Getting clarity on how I can bring my dream from this illusionary bubble that was hovering in front of myself into my real life, to the ground, has been quite an interesting process. And apart from doing what I suggested in a previous step, I want to recommend a particular YouTube video from a channel called actualize.org that completely changed the way how I went about this. The video is called How to Be a Strategic Motherfucker, and it offers 7 extensive steps alongside it. Those 7 steps are a strategic intent, analysis and preparation, a concentration of forces, a disciplined action and follow-through, adaptability, and a continuous learning of different principles. This whole process of getting more clear and introducing actionable to-dos into my daily life, building sort of a strategy around the things that I want to be doing in my life, have been a complete game changer, and they changed it from me kind of being trapped and paralyzed by my own procrastination into getting to a place where I don't feel like I'm running after myself anymore. Okay, all those steps that we talked about are a big part of why I don't feel like I'm wasting my time in my 20s anymore. But more important than that, those different steps offered a pathway to a place, to a state of being that I didn't give much attention beforehand. When you become aware that you're part of a society in which some of us are really trapped in, for better or for worse, then on top of that, you notice how the dream that you've sort of been chasing is actually unreachable. There's no clear pathway towards that. And then you see which steps you could take in order to create the pathway. What does that all lead to? You fully check in with yourself, you're honest to yourself, and that honesty, that authenticity has an energetic weight. You'll notice that with everything that you're doing. This process is a continuous shedding of layers, a confrontation of your triggers. It can be really uncomfortable and painful, but it's all worth it. Because when you're yourself to 100%, when you're authentic, you don't feel like you're wasting anything anymore. You're simply living life. Success and work is good for what it is, and those 3 steps we talked about in this video can help you on that journey. But getting rid of the feeling that life is wasted or that we should have anything achieved by the time we're 25 or 40 or 60 is totally dependent on the fact how okay we are with ourselves. When we accept ourselves in the season of life we find ourselves in, there's nothing to waste. Aiming to get to this point is a big virtue for me that I feel like all of us can aim for in this life.